Certain events in the past continue to haunt the memories of people. Some of these painful memories have even invaded their dreams. Some have been virtually paralyzed by their experience and are struggling to move on. Mindanao is home to 3 distinct populations whose lives are intertwined. There are the 19 tribes of indigenous peoples, including the Lumans, 13 tribes of the Bangsamoro people, and 9 tribes of the Christian settlers or migrants. Each group has its own struggle. The survival of their clan and their right to ancestral land for the indigenous peoples, the right to self-determination and the preservation of their religion and culture for the Muslims, and the legal and constitutional rights for the Christian settlers. But all these are entangled in a web of events that have caused disunity among the people of Mindanao. They share a common history often marred by hostility and violence, which etched deep-seated biases and prejudices towards one another. Take, for example, the evacuees, called the Bakus, of the many wars in Mindanao. They tell their stories of indignities in evacuation centers with tears in their eyes. Raped victims recall their humiliation with hatred the day their lives were shattered. Those who were tortured speak of their experience with hatred and resentment. True, memory can be terribly tyrannical. But is it still necessary to remember all these painful memories? Why can people not forget the past? Forgive the perpetrators, move on with their lives, and get on with the future. These are the usual reactions we hear when we speak of stories people have encountered in the past. If only people can easily forget. But the problem with human memory is that it is inherited with the capacity to remember inasmuch as it has a capacity to forget. I suppose one of the reasons why our nation and some of our fellow men, including women and children, continue to bleed and cry is because of the wounds in the past that have not actually been healed. For memories to be healed, concealed truth must resurface, for truth liberates. Past must be confronted as it serves as a basis for the future. Healing is not about forgetting. Healing is about remembering. This is transitional justice and reconciliation. It has something to do with the universal value of human compassion. It has something to do with defying exclusivity in times of armed conflict. It has something to do with embracing inclusivity to alleviate human suffering. With the creation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao by the passage of Republic Act 11054 and the continuing comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro, these are small but critical paths towards the big road to peace. I used to know only of Mindanao's past as it is written in history books. It is full of bloodshed. But as I undertook my research, I discovered another side of history. That which is beautiful. Stories that bring hope when learning about harmonious relationships among Christians, among Muslims, and among indigenous peoples. How the elders can get together and forge a common aspiration. One need not be a member of the peace panel to contribute something towards the realization of peace in Mindanao. One can do so by fighting this invisible war within him or her, to learn how to speak the truth, to learn how to trust. Before we can even begin talking about peace, about progress, about development, even about dispensing justice under the rule of law, it all has to begin with trust. To build trust, to create ripples of trust. And this starts with the young, as they chart their own destiny. We owe it to them and to the future. Otherwise, we will only rewrite Mindanao's history its painful history of bloodshed and violence, another chapter of conflict. And this is not what we want for our children. This is not what we want for Mindanao. This is not what we want for our nation.